Okay, Remy, you want to go to the Temple District, yeah?
Yeah.
Okay, does anybody want to go with her, or does she want to go alone? So she can get murdered as well. Please. Anybody?
Remy ain't going anywhere anytime soon.
Odge? Anybody?
Arya will go with her.
Okay, so you guys head over to the Temple District. Town is pretty busy here in the morning. A lot of carts and things moving around. You get to Mary's Chapel. There's a morning service that you can attend, or you could, head in after that if you want.
Morning, like early in the day morning?
Yeah.
Or like someone
Like
died morning?
M-O-R.
Got it.
Remy would probably want to attend the service.
Okay, so you guys sit through the service.
Oh, did you?
Remy,
turn
you
on the
can-
recording?
Yeah.
Oh. We did our introduction.
What introduction? We just go. You don't need an intro for this
Our
shit.
Introduction now. Did you have my entire thing going?
No.
20 minutes of James fucking with the mic.
Yes, that's our new intro. No, I did not.
We need an intro and an outro.
No, we really don't.
Here's the intro. We're playing fucking D&D. Okay, we're good now.
Not regular
So-
D&D, fucking D&D.
Yeah, fucking D&D. Remy, you attend the service, and Mary kind of spots you in the crowd, and will come over. She's kind of shaking hands with people and speaking to people, but you could tell she's just trying to be polite, and she kind of makes her way over to you as soon as possible. And she kind of gets down on one knee and gives you a hug and asks you how your trip has been, because she hasn't seen you since you've been back.
We haven't been back for very long, have we?
No, I mean 2 weeks at this point, because you guys took some downtime. But
Oh, right.
I mean, you could have been going there in the meantime, but just because we didn't talk about it,
Yeah, I
Didn't
kind
know.
of imagined she would have stopped by and said hello, but not
Okay.
do anything otherwise.
yeah. So she hugs you regardless, and asks you how your day's going.
Oh, it's not going too horribly. Unlike last night. Actually, I was hoping that you could help me with something.
She says, "Oh yeah, I have some of those nights as well." And she kind of looks over you, and you see an older priest, kind of waving at her, and she kind of waves back, and then looks at you and gives you a wide-eyed look.
Is this gentleman handsome for an old man?
Roll a perception check.
11 plus perception. Oh, no. 4, so 15.
Yeah, he's all right looking. He's 60 or so, seems.
Nope, okay.
Not a lot of hair on top of his head, but other than that, he looks okay.
Alright. Remy will kind of just brush that off a little bit and say, well, unfortunately, one of my dear friends was attacked in the alleyway last night.
She says, "Oh, I'm sorry to hear that. Does he or she need any medical attention?"
No, I got to her in time. I was able to save her life.
She says, "Oh, that's good."
She probably would have been dead if I didn't make it in time.
Probably.
She just kind of looks sad.
And it happened to be from, I kind of I chatted with her a little bit about it and got some more information, and it sounds like it was somebody that's accusing her of murder similar to the butcher, if you remember him.
She kind of thinks, and she says, "Oh yeah, I think I heard a bit about that. Awful business," she said.
And I believe that she told me it was a guard captain's brother. I was just hoping that maybe I could get in touch with him and straighten this whole thing out so that my friend doesn't have these marks on her record anymore.
Roll a persuasion check.
$19 plus something. Plus 6.
She says, well, of course I could inquire for you and have what information they have at the palace sent over. The guards around here, they aren't particularly bright, unfortunately, but she just kind of waits to see what you say.
I've kind of noticed the same, as it took quite some time for them to catch the butcher, and in fact, not to brag, but me and my friends did step in and help with that, and
She just kind of goes wide-eyed and says, "What?"
Yeah, we helped catch him.
Wow,
I'm not sure whatever happened to him in the end, but we found his identity, and...
Well, she says, yeah, we all kind of wondered why the killing stopped. She says,
Yeah,
although I can't really agree with all these patrols going out at night. They seem a little thuggish, if you ask me, but...
Exactly, and I just don't want them coming after my friends anymore, as, we clearly don't want to cause any harm to the people of Vestra.
She just nods, and she says, well, I'll have somebody send over some information as soon as I get it.
I would really appreciate that, thank you.
She just gives you another hug and goes off to deal with other people in the congregation. Is that all you wanted to accomplish here?
No, I'd probably want to do some religious work while I'm there, too.
Okay. So you spend the day there, and you can spend some additional time over, however long you guys stay in town.
At that point, Arya would leave.
Okay. Arya walks back in alone. Get the fuck out of there.
Well, Reb, if you're curious, Remy's dead.
Oof.
Yeah, we were kind of jumped in the street. Real sad thought.
So, Remy eventually will wander back in over the day, but is there anything the other two hooligans want to accomplish today?
Yeah, actually, on Arya's walk back, she would like to make a quick trip around to right near Archbishop, what's his dick, is living.
You'll have to be more specific. Which Archbishop?
I think it's like Godfrey, because he's all
sure.
Pretentious.
And what's the goal? And also, why is your fire alarm going off?
Because Victoria's cooking. 1 second.
Rip, Odge dies for real. All his characters die, and now Odge gets burned to death. It's payback for when his character burned himself to death. Fucking rip. Partway through the day, Remy, you are kind of working and, maybe attending to people coming in to pray or something like that. And you set kind of some of your belongings off on a little table, and you start to hear a buzzing, rattling noise from within your belongings that you brought with you that day.
I will go check it out.
Okay, so you see, kind of amidst all the other, belongings you've set down, whatever you take with you on an average day that doesn't, particularly require battle, you see your sending stone. It's vibrating and flashing, and it kind of vibrates off the table onto the ground, and it's kind of like slowly vibrating across the ground.
I'll pick it up.
So you hear Strauss say, we just got to Malmrum, and there's been sightings of undead in the woods to the north. And then that's where our message cuts out. So you have 25 words to respond.
Okay, I'm back. Sorry about that.
Hello.
Hello.
Remy would say... we'll round everybody up.
Okay. So, Remy, do you cut your religious service short and head home then?
Well, do I really think a couple hours is going to make that big of a
No.
difference?
Nah, probably not.
No, I'll finish it for the day then.
Yeah, they're super dead, but never mind. Just kidding. So you finish your religious service, Arya. What are you doing around Godfrey's house? Like, what's your idea?
It was mainly I wanted to walk past the front, walk past the back, and just like really get a good scope out and
Okay.
a good proper layout of how the house actually is.
Okay. So roll a perception check.
God damn it. First roll of the night. Natty 1.
Oof. So the front end of the house again is there's a little iron gate, and there's about 10 feet of like a little front entryway, and so it's about the front door is about 10 feet back from the street. There's guards out front, and again you see guards up on the roof. As you go, again it's sandwiched in between two other buildings, and it looks to be about 4 stories high, but it's a fairly narrow building. It's like I guess it'd be like a brownstone or something, if you know what that is. So it's sandwiched between 2 buildings, so there's no alleyways down the side, but there's an alleyway that comes through the back. And there is a door there. It seems to be unguarded, but you wonder if it's either, locked or guarded on the inside or something.
Okay.
There are windows, but all of the windows on the first 2 stories are barred. The first 2 stories are barred, but then the upper 2 floors are not. That's what you're dealing with.
Okay. Yeah, and am I even, as I say, probably not with that roll, but am I even able to find an alleyway or access to see the back half of the house?
You just head around the block. And like I said, there's a back door, but other than that, there isn't much in the way of entry.
Okay. Alright, well, with that information in tow, I will head back to the bar at that point.
James, anything? Or are you mute again?
I don't know at this point.
I can hear you.
Very quietly, but I heard you.
I have turned it all the way up, too.
I can turn myself up, but is there buzzing?
No, but it's too quiet. There might be buzzing.
Say, maybe?
Glad Odge's house didn't burn down.
For real.
Yeah, I have to clean up that little silver bit beneath the burner on the stove, because I guess some of the grime or whatever it is that's down there was putting off just enough smoke to set off the alarms.
What is she making?
Food, Morgan.
She's got chicken parm in the oven, and she was starting to boil spaghetti. She didn't get the water boiled before the alarm went off.
Well, that's why you slap your spaghetti.
Keep your kitchen clean, man.
I normally do.
Slap your spaghetti.
I'm the only one who cleans the kitchen.
Oof. That's rough.
I mean,
Reminds me of
You
living in
had that problem
Burlington.
the other place, didn't you?
We'll show Victoria this, and she'll get mad at you.
Well,
It's all over YouTube now.
well, more accurately, luckily I'm not the only one who cooks. She cooks more often than I do.
So, Remy completes her day of work. She comes back to the bar and can fill everybody else in on what the Gygus told her.
I'm sorry, could you repeat it one more time? I was...
So the Strauss
Yeah.
knee-deep in audio settings.
Yeah, I was
also
knee-deep in
AFK.
audio fuckery.
Strauss sent a message to Remy through her sending stone that there's a undead sighted north of Malmrum.
In the old Malmrum area-ish again?
Well, yeah, so Old Malmrum is kind of northwest of Malmrum, so roughly, yeah.
Did you say an undead sighting?
Yes.
Okay. But I mean, it was just like one, right?
No, like
An undead
a few.
sighting. Maybe one or two?
Like 3+.
It's not too bad.
Yeah, that's only like.
I mean, technically 400 is 3+, so.
And we handled that.
Mm. So Morgan, what's the plan?
Just tell everybody about that. Say,
Okay,
hey, should
everybody,
we go,
what is the plan?
should we go meet up with them in Malmrum?
Clint's not even here,
Wow.
James.
I know.
Okay, so you can do that. Who wants to go? Obviously, Rev and Remy.
I mean, Arya
Remy
will
should
go
probably
as well.
actually stay.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
So Elise will go.
Oops.
Well, Remy's waiting for information from Mary.
I say Arya will go. Do we know how long it'll be before? Well, yeah, before Clint's gonna be back from his vacation.
We have no idea
Let's find out right
anymore.
now. We're gonna go over to Clint.
Oh, maybe I should get my Tyson stuff.
Yeah, maybe.
I really thought you said Mike Tyson stuff for a second.
Jesus
Yes.
Christ.
Echo, NES Punch Out.
Hey, come on, the Super NES Punch Out at least.
Sure.
Like that was a great game. I love that one.
Okay. So, we open on Clint. Eno is kind of lazily steering the ship. He has his elbow resting on the steering wheel, and he just kind of and sighs, and he's just kind of looking off into the distance. Clint is panicked because there's a kraken latched onto the side of the ship, lashing people with tentacles. And up in the mast, you see Jenye, the hag, just cackling, laughing, and kind of rolling back and forth on the mast as the seas are rough.
I'm sorry, what? I wasn't paying attention at all during the whole Clint boat adventure.
Apparently.
So,
Okay.
James, are you seeing what I'm seeing?
Release the Kraken.
So, Jenye is about 20 feet up in the rigging.
Can we just talk about how that Kraken is really cute?
I mean,
It is
it's
a
more like a
juvenile
axolotl.
kraken, so...
It looks adorable.
It looks like a small pack of pistachios.
Badger, you should catch it
What?
and keep it.
Let's get cracking.
Fuck you.
There it is.
Fuck you people. Okay. So,
Catch the Kraken, keep it as a pet.
good fucking luck.
You.
So, Clint,
insane
roll
bitch.
initiative.
$24.
Okay. I always click the wrong thing. Always. Without fail. 24.
Which one is Jenny? That's the Anis hag, correct?
Yes.
That's the one that we thought sent them up. How did she get herself up there?
Magic.
She's way too big for that shit.
She's super strong, dude. She can also kind of fly.
He looks like a fucking
Not with
troll.
those wings. We saw what happened. Couldn't take the troll to breakfast.
Oof. Is that everybody? Yeah. So, Clint, you go first. So there's a kraken lashing the side of the ship. Jenye is just up in the mast, laughing and cackling. The seas are rough. There's a black cloud hanging over the ship. What do you want to do? You have a crossbow with a series of bolts in it.
Gee.
Currently, the crew is kind of, you hear them rushing upwards through the ship, and there's a couple people on the main deck that are rushing to kind of get to the ballistas on that side of the ship.
Does it? There goes Morgan's number 2.
That wasn't me.
No, that was me.
Oh,
But he's too young, so
Weeds, join the drinking party.
it's
Coke.
Mountain Dew. For
Alright.
sure it's Mountain Dew.
It's a Coke, Morgan. I can't buy any myself.
I imagine that like when he drinks something
This is
that's
going
not
on YouTube. We will not discuss any illegal procedures.
Like I said, I'm drinking Coca-Cola.
I imagine that when Odge drinks something, it turns to Mountain Dew in his mouth.
God, I hate Mountain Dew. I would really hope it doesn't.
You look like you like Mountain Dew, though.
Wow, dude.
You know what I mean? Like
And
I feel
Doritos.
like in
Mountain Dew
Cedro
and
that
Monster
it's
Energies.
like instead of formula they just give you Mountain Dew, and then when you're like 6 they upgrade you to Monster Energy.
Okay, a couple things. One, I no longer live in Cedro. Two,
I mean,
I have lived in Cedro for a very
no, that's not how it
short time
works.
in my life.
It's in your DNA.
No, it's really not in my DNA.
Yeah, I mean I know science, so whatever.
That's
So these-
not how
these
Mute, I'll
science
just
works.
mute him. I'll mute him, and then hold on.
And ban
Okay,
him.
Odge, if you're not from Cedro, say you're not from Cedro. I didn't hear anything. All right, he's back. Clint, what do you want to do?
Not be from fucking Cedro?
Clint's definitely from Cedro.
No!
For sure he is.
He's like higher class than Cedro at least. It's fine.
He's like Cedro transplanted into Victorian England, like.
I
Guns
thought you
and
were gonna
weed.
say,
That's
like,
why he
into,
had
like,
to
Victoria
leave.
and Odge's house. I was like, that's not very much better. That place catches on fucking fire.
That's true. So what does Clint do?
Does it look as if Jenye has like control over the Kraken?
Roll an insight check.
It's not very good. 12.
So, I mean, I think that they appeared at around the same time, so it's a good guess that probably she is at fault here. As far as, like, directly controlling it, though, she is, again, like, so she's 20 feet up from you, 30 feet up from the main deck, and so the tentacles can't reach her, but they are just kind of lashing at things and kind of feeling its way across the ship. So you're not sure if she's just, staying out of range because she can't control it or what, but...
Okay.
Why do we always have such problems with hags?
Because a certain somebody used Clint on their first session to blow a hag's brains out.
Well, she licked the barrel after him explicitly saying, "Don't lick my fucking barrel."
Consent is important.
God damn it.
Don't laugh, I'm being serious.
r/no context.
Yeah, pretty
Clint, what
much.
do you do in the D&D, though?
Where is Clint? I don't even see Clint.
He is here.
He is tied to the
Am I
mast.
downstairs?
I don't know, probably.
How far down?
He's
I
on the
see no-
very top deck.
There are no Clint minis.
Okay,
Oh, there's
I
a-
was looking at the Kraken deck.
I
That would be
was not.
why.
Yeah.
User error is what you meant to say.
Holy fuck! How? Apparently,
ballista-
Jenny is fucking fat.
She's a large creature. She's all kind of grotesque and...
That's very rude.
Yeah, it
The
is. She's
ballista on
evil. so-
Oh!
the second-ish page where Kraken is, could those be rotated and shot upwards towards Jenye?
Yeah.
Or would I have to use like the one on the...
Oh, that's actually kind of interesting. So they can't be rotated 180 degrees unless you rotate like off the ship, like we talked about.
Yeah.
You're kind of hanging out over the railing. And Clint is actually not sure how high they go, if they'll go high enough, but you can try. Additionally, there's one behind you, like at the stern,
Yeah.
And that one would probably have an easier chance at like aiming up because it has to aim less high because the other ones are actually down about 10 feet.
Yeah. I was just thinking that I would like to. You're doing it as 2 turns, right? Aim and then fire because they're like preloaded.
Yeah, they're so I'm assuming that they're loaded, and you just have to aim, and then on the next turn you can fire, or you could action surge and fire.
Okay, I would like to then go turn and aim at her.
Okay, you do that.
And
Bonus action.
No, that'll be it.
Okay. So I gotta remember what she can do.
Slam things and hug things and kill.
Creature within 60 feet. So she kind of laughs and cackles and points at you. And you see her eyes go dark and kind of inky energy starts to kind of ripple out of her eyes. And I need you to roll a wisdom save for me.
So you're saying she needs to go see an optometrist?
Well, maybe.
That's a 7.
Okay. So she starts laughing, and then she's...
Hold on. I'd like to use Indomitable.
Okay. Roll again.
Or actually, is this a poisoned effect or anything
No.
that he would get advantage on?
No.
Okay. I'd like to do Indomitable.
Okay.
Five.
So you are kind of looking at her. She's pointing at you, and these like your eyes become kind of transfixed on her empty eyes, and you feel your stomach gurgle a little bit, and then you just start vomiting horribly across the ballista here. You have disadvantage on attack rolls and ability checks. At the end of each of your turns, you can roll a wisdom save to end this effect, but you're just like puking and dry heaving while she is concentrating on this spell. So that's her turn. Eno just kind of looks back at you and kind of, and he just kind of sits his chin down on his hand again, and he's just kind of lazily steering back and forth. So the crew starts to kind of run, and you see one of them aims the ballista and another pulls the trigger. So they get 2 shots off. Natural 20 and a 19, so that's a fucking oof. Plus 4, so... I don't remember what a fucking ballista does. Lovely. Siege weapons, my dude. 3d10. So that's 9d10? Plus 4. Jesus Christ. So they shoot this thing, and you see the bolts pierce one of its eyes, and the eye kind of pops, and then there's this huge empty socket. You hear it kind of squeal, and the tentacles lash about. I forgot to add the what's its name to initiative, but it rolled a...
Oh, and there was for it, yeah.
1 is what it rolled. That's why I didn't add it. So, that's their turn. You hear some noise below you, coming from the navigation room. You know the bosun was in there. But you hear more people running up on the deck. You see Georgina runs out in front, and she kind of just says, "Clint, what the fuck's going on?"
I know we ended time kind of introducing the crew. Would we, like, she and Clint had a chance to, like, talk a little bit?
Yeah. Yes.
Okay. Did you get a sense that she had any magical power?
No. Nope. So you can yell back at her. You can't see her because you're kind of hanging out over the ship, but...
I'll kind of yell back, like, come up here and help me.
Okay. So she will use rest of her movement to run to there. You see the dwarf kind of gets up onto the deck as well here behind her. Whoa. Whoa. He's freaking out. Okay. And he kind of looks up at all this chaos of like tentacles flying around, people screaming and firing ballista, squealing. Kraken's turn.
Kind of like Audrey's wet dream.
Okay, so it hits, and it hits. Oh yeah. So it just lashes down and grabs two of the people here and just flings them off the boat, and they just disappear into the surf. You hear a crunching noise as the tentacles wrap around them, and they just kind of cry out, go limp, and then they just kind of get flung into the sea.
Oh, yay.
That's the Kraken's turn, I believe. Yeah. Clint, your go. So you're puking on this ballista trying to still aim. What's the plan?
And the shenanigans I can pull. You mean you allow me to use sharpshooter on?
Yeah, sure, why not?
Maybe not at a disadvantage, but just something to think about there. I'm gonna. It's just a straight dex check, isn't it? Plus,
Plus dex.
not even plus the 2 from the sniper.
Yeah, because you're not proficient.
I will just attempt to fire normally at her.
Okay, so disadvantage.
Yeah. Oof. 8.
8, so that just flies high and kind of pierce one of the sails a little bit. She just kind of laughs, and she's again kind of rolling because the sea is not calm anymore, so she's kind of rolling back and forth on the mast. Bonus action. Action surge.
I have to use action surge before I make that wisdom save, correct?
Yes. Because you make it at the end of the turn.
Reload it.
Okay, so you grab another bolt kind of off the deck. They're kind of stacked at the base of the ballista. There's usually 5 around each ballista, so you grab another one and load it in, and kind of crank back the string. Is it called a string on a ballista? Her turn. She's gonna continue.
Hold on, let me do my wisdom save.
Ah, yeah, wisdom save. DC
18.
DC 13, so you succeed.
Whoop.
So, oops. What other spells do I have? She kind of cackles again and kind of whips her hand in a circle and then points, and a lightning bolt fires off at you. And it kind of grazes the top of Eno's head, and he kind of just looks up and like, huh, like sighs again. But roll a dex save.
I feel like that's going to be a nasty one right now. 19.
So you succeed, so you take 13 points of lightning damage.
Okay.
So you kind of duck, and the lightning bolt kind of jumps down the ballista into you, but you don't take the full brunt of it. Eno's turn. He just kind of, like, again, kind of scratches his head and just kind of, he gets lower, but is still just kind of steering and doesn't seem to care. The crew will reload their ballistas here. And 2 more crewmen run out and will attempt to fire in a mow. kind of all jumbled up here, but I think 3 sets of 2 of them can get out at a time. So they see that the ballistas are kind of manned at this point, so they start to run kind of up the deck, kind of up onto the top here. So they're kind of running up the stairs. And one will follow Georgina, but the other 2 kind of run same direction. So you see the pirate on the bow of the ship is trying to rotate her ballista far enough, but can't. So they kind of give up, and they just kind of run over, and there's a volley of crossbow bolts that are going to fire off. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 crossbows. And it is... Did I say 6? Yeah.
Yes.
1 hit. 2 hits. Miss. 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 So 3 hits. 4. 22. So there's a volley there. You see the dwarf is dashing to get up, and Georgina runs kind of up onto your level. This woman kind of runs back and fires a crossbow bolt as well at it. She kind of sees one of the tentacles waving and fires at it. But she misses. And Georgina kind of runs over and, like, sees you hanging out over the ship puking, and then she just kind of draws her sword and, like, prepares and will take a dodge action as this is happening. And then the 2 ballistas go off. Miss and miss. So the 2 ballistas fire, and it just kind of lashes out and bats the bolts out of the air, and they don't get hit that time. The Kraken is going to take a legendary action to do a tentacle attack.
Oh, yeah.
And it kind of lashes out and hits. And just, you see this, this woman here behind Georgina. A tentacle comes lashing out, and Georgina ducks, and it wraps around this woman, kind of around the neck, and you just hear a crunch as it squeezes, and you just see life leave her eyes, and she gets picked up and thrown into the sea as well. Now it's the Kraken's turn. It's going to make 2 attacks. One is going to come at you, Clint, so it lashes out at you after kind of throwing this woman off. And it's going to roll an attack, and it rolls a 15 to hit.
Miss.
So you duck again, and it kind of lashes against the back railing. You hear like the suckers on its tentacles like suction onto the wood, and as it pulls it away, it actually tears wood out of the railing. And then the other tentacle is going to lash out towards one of the crossbow fire. Actually, it'll probably lash out at the people behind the ballista. So it hits them, and that kills one of the dwarfs. So it lashes and just smashes a dwarf, and the guy, he just crumples to the ground and does not get up. Clint, your turn.
I think I have to aim this turn, so yeah.
Yes. So what are you aiming at?
Jenya.
Okay. Jenny's turn. She looks down at you.
Hi.
She says, "Your time has come, halfling bitch!" And she fires another lightning bolt at you. Roll another dex save.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. $11.
So that's a fail, so you take 23 points of damage. Eno just looks back at you on his turn. He says, "Why do you have to bring these people around, Clint? Just... And he just kind of looks exasperated.
May I reply and say, "It's not my fault! Help me!"
Roll a persuasion check.
As it was totally Clint's fault. I believe that might be a 19. Yes.
Okay. Crew's turn. There's another volley of arrows. Miss, miss, miss. Miss. 1 hit. 2 hits. So you see they're just kind of firing now at the tentacles lashing out in the air. 2 of them kind of sink into these rubbery tentacles and do a little damage. Okay. One of them reloads over here. One reloads and aims over here. I did that wrong last turn, didn't I? Forgot to aim. I guess they were kind of already aimed, I guess. They didn't really have to change their aim. I don't know. So you see 2 more figures kind of run out there. But they're stopped in their tracks as the at the end of their round, the Kraken takes another legendary action, and will just lash out at one of them here up on the bow, I guess. So why not? Hits and kills this guy. So again, he just gets crushed and kind of picked up by the suctions and thrown out to sea. Kraken's turn. It's going to lash out at you again, Clint.
Okay.
For a 22 to hit. Does that hit, James?
I said, oh yeah.
Okay, you take 19 points of damage.
That's a fun one.
And then you are grappled, so it wraps around you, and then you are hauled up into the air, just kind of flailing about. So we'll put you just off to the side here. So you're flailing about in the air, grappled by this thing, and you are restrained at the moment. So that's its turn. Or no, I only made 1 attack. So then it again lashes out at kind of the people in front of the ballistas here. Natural 20, so I'm not even going to roll damage. It just throws this dwarf spinning out to sea, and he hits the water hard, and you do not see him come up. Maybe he can swim. Clint, it's your turn. You're grappled and restrained, just being ragdolled in the air.
Is there any way I can reach and hit the trigger of the...
No, you're away, kind of away from your previous position. I assume you're still over the boat, roughly, but you're, 20 to 30 feet up in the air.
Mm-hmm. Okay, and do remind me about breaking restrain.
You just have to use your action to try to break the grapple.
Okay. And if I attack, it's disadvantage on attacks?
Yeah, you have disadvantage on your attack.
I don't know, guys. What do you say? Break the grapple or just try and shoot it dead?
They win AFK. You're on your
I
own.
am all alone.
They're also muted, so maybe they thought they told you something. What happened? Oh boy. Where?
Literally, like,
how best to describe it? What happened?
What are you trying to shoot?
I think she actually fell asleep. She sounds like she just woke up.
Yeah.
What's D&D? What?
Everything.
You're on your own,
What
James.
are we fighting?
You're on your own. What do you do?
Oh, it's either, like, immolated or scrubbing something.
Odge's house burnt down, or he's getting yelled at for being mean. What do you do, Clint?
I'm actually eating chicken right now, so...
Oh, your full rotisserie chicken?
no, actually chicken parm.
I am disappointed.
I'm not. It's
That's your
tastes
D&D
amazing.
meal. Your full rotisserie chicken. You eat.
He's
only
just happy
hands.
he's not dying.
True
That
facts.
too.
I would like to acrobatics myself out of this grapple.
Okay, roll an acrobatics check.
What are you grappled by? The Kraken?
Yes.
Wait, there's a Kraken?
You got grappled by the ballista. What? Did you get tangled into tents again, Clint?
Yeah, got tangled by rigging.
He got tied back up upside down on a mast again somehow. Sorry, that's a 16.
Okay, that is a fail, unfortunately. So you're trying to escape, and it just is too tight of a grasp. So bonus action. Anything?
Am I rolling against him?
No, it's just a flat DC of 20.
Oh, fucking. If I knew it was flat DC, can I use that D6 in?
Yes? Does he have inspiration? I thought he used it.
Do I get inspiration as me to use between them or per character?
Per character, but I thought Clint used his.
Okay.
Yeah. I think he used
I
it for
counted
like
that inspiration is red for the caution tape.
No, you do
I
not get
do.
inspiration for your
Yes!
caution. No.
I broke you before the
Nope.
session.
Nope. No caution tape for you. So
Yeah, Clint's done.
okay. So at the end of your turn, it's going to take a legendary action and lash out at another crew member. Probably one here that's right in front. Hits and dead. So you see one is kind of aiming the ballista and it just gets lashed, pulled straight up in the air, and it falls, hits the railing, and slumps into the ocean. It's Jenye's turn. She sees you and she kind of aims and fires off another lightning bolt. And you see it hits the tentacle you're in, but it kind of just crawls down the tentacle and seems to completely not affect it at all. So you think Krakens are immune to lightning, it appears. So roll a dex save. You have disadvantage because you're restrained.
I'm not gonna bother rolling the next one. I mean, I don't believe a 9 will pass.
No. So you take 31 points of damage.
Did you skip Georgina last turn?
Yep. Georgina says, "Clint! Where'd you go?" So the problem is she doesn't have a ranged weapon. Where's she at?
She has a
There she is.
ballista?
Oh yeah, I guess that's true. She'll run over and leap kind of up and over the ballista and climb back at, against the railing, and she'll aim instead at the Kraken. So she kind of aims at the tentacle you're in, and she'll fire on her next turn. That's what she'll do. So Eno is just kind of watching you and just kind of steering off to the side, just watching you up in the air.
Justin, at this point, are you just trying to kill off all the main PCs?
I mean, yeah, this is what D&D is. So this isn't like new. This is how it's always been. But Eno
now I gotta start killing more people.
Clint says, "Eno, you get down from there." And he's just steering. Georgina fires at the tentacle you're in. She has a +4. That does not hit. So it just kind of glances off the tentacle. And you see its rubbery hide kind of split a little bit, but it doesn't go deep enough to do any damage. The ballistas here are loaded and aimed, so they will fire. One of them hits. So one kind of sinks a large ballista bolt into the Kraken kind of top of the head. So more people kind of pour up onto the top deck and kind of rush up.
We're alive.
So they kind of make a line and start to fire crossbows. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. Miss, miss. Miss, hit. 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 Miss. 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 Hit. So 4 hits, I think.
Out of how many?
You'll be able to watch this back later. Out of 12, 13, 14, something like that. You'll be able to watch this back later and see if I actually got that right. I think there was 4 hits. 4, 12, 14, 16, 18 points of damage. Okay. So they just fire a volley of crossbow bolts at kind of at tentacles that are lashing out. You see it's just being peppered by tentacles at this point. Let me see if there's anybody else going. No, that's it. At the end of their turn, no, it uses legendary action, but it's its turn now. It's gonna attack the people on the ballista. Hits and kills one here. Just kind of lashes and slams against the deck, and then it's gonna use a fling attack on you, Clint. So it just kind of whips you down towards the sea and then flings you kind of towards the middle of the ship.
Whoa, whoa, whoa. I ain't no summer fling here.
So you take, let's see, so you're roughly here. So you take some falling damage, basically. You take 12 points of damage. And Jenye has to roll to catch you.
Oh, I'm going all the way up there.
12 just fails. So she catches you, but you hear her elbow crack under the pressure, and she takes that falling damage as well. But so you take 12 points falling damage, basically. She grabs you and kind of looks you in the eye, and kind of sneers. But it is your turn. Eno says, "That's not better." Just up at you. I meant down here.
Am I down on the deck again?
No, you're up in the kind of near the top of the mast, and Jenye has you grappled. Unless you would try to slip out of her grasp, but you'll fall 30 feet to the ground.
Okay.
You can feel her
So
grasp
failed
kind
the
of.
catch.
So she failed.
Or is the fail, like,
the fail is to
the
take the damage as well.
Okay.
Yeah. So she rolled basically against the Kraken, and failed.
I'd like to. So what does the meme? So then I started shooting. I'm going to use a grip point to do a big sharpshooter on
Okay.
this one. I don't believe a 12 would hit, huh?
No. So you kind of get your crossbow free and shoot, and it just kind of goes past her head.
Okay, a regular shot. I believe that's 28.
That hits. So she kind of laughs and watches that first crossbow bolt kind of go past her, and then the other one kind of hits her in the ear. And you hear kind of a crunching noise as it pierces into her thick skin. What's that?
11 damage.
11 damage.
And then I'd like to use another grip point to try and sharpshoot her again.
Okay. So she's kind of dazed by that one and is kind of grabbing at her ear, so you take a moment to aim better.
16.
16 just misses. So it grazes kind of the top of her hair. You see some hair kind of flutter off down. She kind of looks
And I'd
back at
like
you and
to,
sneers.
Second wind.
Okay.
Easy die. Where's my marbles? There you are. All right. Yay. Okay.
Okay. So she kind of laughs at you and kind of shakes you and says, "You're not so tough now." And then she kind of calls out in a language you don't understand. Clint doesn't speak Primordial, right?
No.
So it sounds kind of Dwarvish to him, but he doesn't really understand the words. But she kind of calls out and points. And you see a... let's see here, actually. You see the Kraken almost reacts to that. Like it's hearing what she's saying and is changing what it's doing. So that's her action. She kind of commands it. Eno is just looking up at you and says, Clint, if you really intend to get back from vacation, you should start fighting back, I think. And he just kind of is looking up at you. You want to say anything to him? You're being like squeezed.
No, I really need some help here with this. Not going well. Please.
Roll a persuasion check. 10.
Okay.
He says, I thought you were the toughest of the bunch. If this is how you're doing against just a hag, you're not going to do well against the Marigna. And he just kind of looks at you. It's the crew's turn. At the end of at the end of Eno's turn, the Kraken is going to take a legendary action. It will just tentacle attack, so it's going to attack again somebody that's kind of on a ballista. Hits and kills him. So it lashes down and slams into another crew member. Crew's turn. There's going to be a bunch of so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. 15 d20s. 1 hit, 2 hit, 3 hit, 4 hit, 5 hit, 6 hits, 7 hits, 8 hits. So 8d8 plus 16. So that's 33, 43. Okay, so they fire a bunch more crossbow bolts, and again, their bolts are kind of sticking out all over the place. That's their turn. Everybody's up on deck, right? Yeah. You hear the door open to the cabin, and you hear the bosun peek out and says, "Nope!" and shuts it, and you hear it lock. And they just hide in there and kind of like get under the table. Kraken's. Oh yeah, Georgina. She will reload the ballista. So Kraken's turn. It's going to. You see the tentacles kind of start moving in a circular direction, and Clint, you kind of look up, and you hear rumbling above you. The cloud kind of swirls, and then a lightning strike comes out of the sky.
So it instantly has PTSD of K. And then of Elazar.
So I went to roll a d20, and I have 15 d20 put in because of the volley of crossbow bolts. So on my d20, I thought I was rolling 1. I rolled 150. And I was like, what? Like there was like a moment of my brain just going, huh? Okay, so it actually succeeds the save.
No,
But even at half damage, he dies.
That's fine. That's fine.
So you see this elf here kind of dives out of the way, but gets struck by the lightning anyways and just perishes on the deck.
We're gonna make it out of this. We've got food.
That's Kraken's turn. Clint, your go. So you see, like, she's kind of cackling and looking down and pointing as these lightning strikes start to hit.
At any point of between acquiring the ship and now, would I have found that they have kept any of my items, or were they truly lost?
Yeah, so they don't have any of your items. So most of your items would have been, they attacked at night, so your items would have been in your cabin, and you would have kind of just grabbed what you had. And you were blown off the ship, so you're not sure if they sank or if they landed on the ship you were on before. But these people don't have any of your equipment.
Okay. Shot in the dark. Just like these shots I'm about to take. $17.
17 hits, just hits.
Light crossbow's D8, correct?
Yes.
Okay. 8 damage.
Okay. Math. Is that number? Okay.
19 to hit.
Yep, that hits. I can't think right now for some reason.
10 damage.
Okay.
And 20 to hit.
Yep.
9 damage.
So you quickly fire, and 3 crossbow bolts, they kind of all sink into her shoulder. You see they don't pierce as deep as you think they should, and you're wishing you had some of your magical equipment on you. She kind of looks and kind of snorts, and you see the crossbow bolts kind of all pop out of her shoulder. And she kind of looks at you and brings you really close. And then she hears Eno talking and kind of moves you out of the way. And she says, "What'd you say? Marigna!" And that's what she does. She holds her action. Eno is just kind of looking up at you. So Georgina aims the ballista at the hag carrying you. The other crew members will fire. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. Is that right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Yeah. So 14. Actually, at the end of Genye's turn, it's going to take a legendary action and attack again. And it rolls 159 because I put in 14 whatever. So it kills another one. So it kind of this pirate here on the bow kind of calls for another volley, and it lashes down and kind of just dices her off the ship. But they do fire a volley anyways. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 hits. For 34 pulse damage. Okay. So they again are just firing crossbow bolts into tentacles flailing about. Kraken's turn. Yes.
Through some sort of, rampaging idiot pack fuckery, since I have nimbleness, I can move through creature spaces that are larger than me. And she's 2 sizes larger than me, I believe. Would I be able to get, some sort of advantage or something, to be able to get out of her grasp?
No. There is a
I think we've tried.
Well, so I'll let you decide. So she has a attack that basically allows her to grapple. So there is a DC set for that. So okay. I could either you get to choose. I haven't told you what the DC is yet, but you get to choose. Do you want me to use the set DC or do you want me to roll? You decide when it comes up. So the Kraken on its turn will call down another lightning bolt. He definitely fails his save and is killed. So you see the dwarf here, kind of closest to the stairs, gets struck by a bolt of lightning and just kind of crumples to the ground. Clint, your go.
Well, I do not attempt that quite yet.
Okay.
At that point, more of a.
So again, she kind of just moved you out of the way and says, "What'd you say, the Marigna?" And like is seemingly trying to talk to Eno, but Eno isn't saying anything.
So I'm gonna go into all my choices here. Fire away. 27 to hit.
Yep.
12 damage.
Okay.
12 to hit. Nope.
That one misses. So she moves you back in front of her face quickly, and you kind of just miss and fire high.
Last one was 24 to hit.
That hits.
And 6 damage.
If you had done 7 damage, we'd be at 69.
Yay.
So you again fire, and one kind of gets her above the eye, but it only goes in about half an inch. She just kind of growls at you. She says, "What do you know about the Marigna?" And she just kind of shakes you back and forth. You're kind of ragdolling. But she holds her action again. And Eno is still just... And then you see him kind of look ahead, and he kind of steers just a little bit, and then just kind of returns to just looking up at you. And he's kind of like... He's kind of like putting his hand up to block the sun in the distance.
If I could reply when she does that, just an answer of something.
You can't reply until your turn because fuck you. I don't know.
Okay.
Yeah. I just want to kill more crew members is what I'm saying. Legendary action. Did I already do a legendary action? I don't remember. Watch your back. I'm doing a legendary action. Fuck you guys. So it lashes out and is probably going to kill another crew member. Yeah. So another tentacle lashes out and just kind of throws another dwarf into the ocean. You just hear, "Ah, fuck!" in Dwarvish as he's flying away. Crew's turn. So they're going to fire a bunch of crossbow bolts. She aimed the ballista, right?
Yes.
Or did she load it? No, yeah, she aimed it. So Georgina will fire at Jenye.
15d20.
Plus 4, so that's a 23 to hit. Not great. So that's 18 points of damage, halved. So that's... Okay. So she fires, and this ballista kind of hits Jenye in the shoulder and is sticking out. But even that doesn't pierce as deep as you think. You would think it'd have enough power to just go straight through her. But it doesn't. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 crossbow shots. 1 hits, 2 hits, 3 hits, 4 hits. And one's a natural 20. So that's 35. Math. Okay. So they fire another volley off. The Kraken lashes out with 2 tentacles. Actually, no, he'll do another a dex save, and they fail it. So another a lightning bolt strikes here, kind of up on the bow, killing another crew member. Clint, it's your turn. You can respond now, if you like. She just says, "What do you know about the Marigna?" and kind of shakes you.
And he'll kind of answer back like, "What's it to you? Why do you even care?"
She says, "Speak, halfling, speak!" She just shakes you some more. "Spill, halfling!" And she kind of hangs you upside down and is just shaking you.
No, you.
Are you do you want to try to, like, persuade her to talk, or what? Or intimidate her to talk, or?
I don't know, that was just me.
Eno's like, "We got you right where we want you."
It was just to blow her off. That's not going to work very well. Yeah. Clint will... I I thought you turned the battle music off for a second. I was like, uh-oh. Uh-oh.
It's like
That's
good or
all
bad,
missed.
though.
Right? It's either different music or boss music. Kind of not so much nicely ask, but ask her about, again, you know, why does it matter to you, you know, whether or not we know of a Marigna.
Okay, so roll a
Get the
persuasion
answer out of
check.
her. Okay. Hold on. That fucked up. That totally fucked up. Okay. Here we go. Oof. 14.
14.
That was off the way there.
She says, they're a cult, and they're a blight on this land. What do you know? And she just shakes you some more.
Alright, still able to...
Yeah, sure. I mean, I assume you're using your action at this point, so you can have a short conversation here.
Say, yeah, they're a blight on this land, but... how do I phrase this without... How's that much better or worse, you know, to you than us or what you do? Or anybody else?
Roll a persuasion check.
Seven.
Yeah, you beat me though. I rolled a natural 1. So she shakes you some more, and then when you say that, kind of being ragdolled, she kind of stops and she says, "Pause!" And then she like looks over and in Primordial says, "Pause!" to the Kraken, and all the tentacles kind of stop and just kind of wiggle slowly. And all the crew are like hunkered and like reloading crossbows, and then they're all like looking at each other, like not understanding what's happening. And she says, "You better start talking, halfling." And she says, "They weren't supposed to be a problem anymore. We got rid of them, okay?" And she shakes you some more. Georgina says, "Stop shaking him! He's small, and he's got a weak neck!" And like she's reloading her ballista at this moment. Eno seems to just nod, like he's agreeing that your neck is weak. He's like, "I have observed that as well. Yes, his neck is weak."
Give me one moment.
First off, he'll say, "Put me down and we can actually talk about this."
Not a chance, halfling! You blew my sister's
Yeah,
head off
lies.
multiple times. Ubs,
You was our friend.
Padre's in hell, you bastard! And she's just
That
shaking.
was not my fault.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is. And she just shakes you some more.
What did she do to Teeps again? Was it like blew his head apart or something? How did he die?
I think
from-
so.
from
They like
poverty?
played chess and well, not Chenier, but he
Yeah,
played
but
chess with.
How is it that the actual method of death?
I think she just broke his neck. I think.
Okay.
Cause like,
It's like, you broke my friend's neck, you know? We've been fighting. That's if you want to talk, we'll talk.
Genier
then
stop.
he'll-
Genier stops shaking you, but says, "The dwarf lost fair and square. It's the rules."
And Clint will kind of fire back like, and then you guys lost the fight, so? And also, as an interjection that, are you the Vasars?
No. What's that? Are you
said
the
took care of
Vasars?
them. You said you took care of them. I thought the Vasars took care of them.
Yeah, a portion of our coven. We got them out of the Feywild a few centuries back. They were trying to just destroy things.
Which one was a portion of the coven?
She just said a portion.
Or
No, just like her coven tried to get rid of them from the Feywild a while back. She just says, they're a weird war cult. It's weird. There's that one that likes birds, but like a weird amount, you know? What do you know? She starts shaking you
kind of
again.
be like,
She like switches hands because her one hand is getting tired and like shakes you in the
like
other
the
one.
broken elbow. So to say, pause. If you want to make deals.
Georgina just says, pause! And like she yells to the crew and they all flinch.
If you want to make deals again and talk about this, we can try that.
We're talking now, she says.
You know what I mean? It's like heads like turkey. I got the blood in my head again. It hurts.
Roll a persuasion check. I'm gonna find a way to put Clint upside down in every adventure now.
Before I roll, make an inspiration.
Not yet. You're close to inspiration. But not quite yet. You haven't been
16.
clever enough yet.
I thought that one was pretty good.
She says, we can go down, but I'm not putting you down. Compromise! And she like puts out a pinky to pinky promise you. I take these really seriously, she says.
Is that like on like the gross arms or something?
Yeah, I mean, like all of her is gross, and her pinky's about the size of your thigh, but yeah, it's a massive pinky.
Which is kind of like.
You like get an arm out, and like her pinky wraps around your entire hand, and she kind of shakes, and then she just
visibly grimacing like.
she just leaps like down to the deck, and you can tell like she intends for her wings to like stop the fall, but it absolutely doesn't. The entire ship like jostles as she hits the ground, and you hear her knees pop, and she goes, ugh, and then she tries to like shrug it off like it didn't hurt, but she took some fall damage. Yeah. Okay, so she like hits the ground and like holds you out. So she probably lands on this guy and kills him on accident.
Oh my gosh! Like, no!
And then she just looks down and she like puts her hands up. That's my bad. No, that's my bad. She shakes you again.
So just kind of like upside down, like.
You see as the bosun cracks the door again, looks out, and closes it and goes back inside.
Remind me what this room is again.
So that's like it's an armory, but there's also bedding in there, like hammocks. So they have all the weapons and stores in there. Extra bolts, that sort of thing.
So you gotta Clint be kind of like hanging upside down, just kind of maneuver, try and turn and like point at that room, like can we at least, yeah.
She looks like over and says, "What? You don't trust these guys?"
The blood in my head hurts and it's cold.
You see Georgina like runs down kind of to the railing. Says, "Clint, what's happening?" Eno says,
and you come. We'll have a talk.
Eno says, "I really don't want to. Do people always yell when they're around you? It's really annoying." Like, yeah, the ocean's kind of loud, but like, I can just hear you. Like, we could just talk at a normal volume, you know?
Okay.
So, Jinye kind of walks over, still with you kind of gripped, and like squeezes through the door frame.
Oh, I'm sorry. Sorry. My okay to Eno was kind of like, okay, we'll stay here.
Oh, I got you.
If we can
So you stay there.
talk normally, and he wants that.
Yeah, Eno doesn't care. He's just like me. So yeah, she just shakes you again. Talk, halfling! We're down!
I'm not down. He's like not trying to like be an ass about it. He's just like literally like.
She said, that was the deal. We pinky promised. We came down, but I got to keep you.
He was just afraid of that. He'll say.
As this is happening, you see the Kraken kind of climbs up higher, and you see it kind of lift its head out, and it is kind of squid-like, and you see its kind of mouth is lined with teeth, and there's one eye is popped, but there's two big eyes that are just kind of peering over the side, and it kind of lashes down with two tentacles to kind of get a better grip, and it pulls the ballista off the ship here on this side. They kind of crunch and.
Imagine it more as like he's like trying to get like a view, like what's going on.
Yeah.
Let's get no, pause.
It just sits there looking at you.
Clint will say, we saw them. They're leaders, like they're free. They're coming out. They're blight across the land.
Roll a persuasion check.
21.
She just she says, "No, they're supposed to be, underground or something. I heard."
Says not anymore. And we have to fight. And they're powerful, and they're getting away, and they're gonna cause more trouble.
She has all three of them.
So like, literally,
Did they imprison them all together? I mean, that's just negligent.
all three of them.
Roll a persuasion check.
That fucking 20.
So she just kind of pouts. She says, "Hold on a minute." She like sets you down, and then you see her kind of walk out over the kraken, and the kraken like puts its tentacles up as like stairs basically. So she goes out to sea a little bit, standing on this kraken, and you see her dig in kind of a pouch on her belt, and she pulls out like an eyeball that is quite small in her hand, but is about the size of like a human eye. And you see her kind of get down and like start whispering in primordial, and she's like, and then she looks back at you and says, like puts it away. And you see her walk back, and she says, "Okay, truce, but only for a little while," and like puts her hand out to shake your hand. Or she'll probably do another pinky promise. Agnes says truce. Well, I don't know. It's just a truce, we don't kill you. You don't kill us.
Yeah, but what ends the truce? Like we need to make sure nobody is.
She kind of thinks, and she says,
bad.
"I never thought about that. What do you suggest?" she says.
Like looking for his pipe leaf, like.
You see Eno has just kind of gone back to... You see him like nodding off a little bit on the steering wheel. You see Georgina kind of runs down the stairs and slides next to you with her sword still out. Like points it.
Could look kind of like put the little arm out, just block her a little bit, but then that like it's okay for now, we got it. Say truce. We don't kill you guys. You don't kill us guys. We work to end the Marigna, maybe together?
Yeah, but that doesn't solve the problem. We could just call the truce off when it's over, right?
Well, that's why I try to make it not a problem.
Right, well, how? Because you still killed my sister. And Padre, her soul is owned by a devil now. All because of you guys.
Not my fault.
Yeah, well, we had to pay them for help, because you guys were such bitches.
I have to pay lots of things.
Witches hate bitches, but witches also hate liches.
God damn it. You've been waiting to use that line, haven't you? You've had that for like at least weeks.
3 years ago. How do I make a campaign revolve around the sentence, witches hate bitches, but witches also hate liches?
Problem is, I'm almost like, could almost be convinced that was the actual thing. Like, some of the things you have kept in, like, I just found on my pictures, like, the 3 James Matthews. Just, I'm like, oh my god. Clint will say,
Eno says, does negotiation always take this long? Just
Yeah.
get it over with. And you just
So
kind of...
say a written, unpinky promise from representatives of both sides that
Georgina kind of
Research
leans in and
gone.
says, look at how big her hands are. How is she going to write? And Jenny is like, I resent that.
Well, it'll be a really big paper, I guess. I don't know.
Roll a charisma check for Clint.
So I have the right one. I almost rolled a Red's charisma check. That would have been great. 8.
8. Okay, let's see. 6. So, you see, Jenye is just kind of thinking, like, scratching, and you hear her, like, scratching on her chin is like the sound of stone on stone, or, like, bark. Like, her skin is very bark-like, almost. And you see her just thinking, And Eno goes, fuck, okay, you know what, I'll do it! And he walks downstairs, and he like, pushes you out of the way, and he says, give me your eyeball! Give me it! And she, like, hands it out to him. He takes it. This is yours now, Clint! If she fucks with you, break it! And he, like, puts it in your hand, and she points at you, stop killing sailors! We got a place to go, and you're fucking it up! And he struts back up to the helm, and starts steering again. And is just pouting. Looking like he won't make eye contact with anyone. He's just looking out over the horizon, just pissed, like steering the boat.
Clint, it is
Georgina's just like
thinking of, well, like
you hear like Georgina's sword hit the deck. Like she just kind of her arm just goes limp and it just kind of hits the deck.
That's why guys so likes that. Can we talk to you with this?
Jenye says, I don't know. Do you know spells?
Oh.
Well, then no. But I can see you.
Has one.
I can see you through it.
We can talk to. Oh, that's right. That's what you did to Nero.
And as you touch it, it's just like a little, it's an eyeball. It's purple. The iris is purple in color. But it's varnished like it's been, I don't know, sealed with some sort of resin. So it's clear and you can still see like the eyeball part, but it's hard.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure Clint's seen all the ones we've had so far and broke potteries.
Yeah, so it's a hag eye. You've run into this before. And you knew when you broke Padres, she took psychic damage and died and fell out of the ethereal plane.
Yep.
So you know that if you destroy that, probably Jenye will take some damage. One of the hags will, but you assume it's Jenye's personal hag eye. She says, then do we have a deal? And she puts out her massive pinky again.
Clint will do the same thing as before, like the arm around.
Yeah, so it just wraps around your entire hand. And so we're gonna leave Clint for now and head back to the other fuckers.
You sleep and eating, fuckers.
Odge, Morgan, are you even awake anymore? All right then. It's 9 o'clock almost, so you guys oh, that's what we were trying to see if Clint was going to be home in time. I'm going to say at this point that Clint is home. There's some stuff that we're going to do when they reach Tietra. Well, maybe we should just end here tonight. You guys feel okay ending here tonight?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. James, can you even hear us anymore? You walked away. Hello, James. Hello. Well, anyways. Let's end here tonight. We'll pick up with Clint at the start of next session, and then we can get back to this when we know where Clint is at. Because Clint might bring, you know, allies with him, so...
Okay.
Are we
Okay,
still
am I
going to
back
be
now?
playing on Wednesdays?
I think so.